So unfortunately this auto choke lawnmower, which happens to be a Troy Bilt, the carburetor in it gummed up again. It's pretty common with these carburetors. So I have a Chinese brand new carburetor that I'm going to install on this lawnmower. I've had good luck with these in the past, and they're very simple to install. It's just like a normal Briggs. About the third of a price. I think I only paid $15 for this one off of Amazon. And they'll have different brand names on Amazon. They'll have about 3 or 4 different ones, but they're all the same exact carburetor, at least as far as I can tell. So I actually went through and already serviced this lawnmower, so the air filter is good and everything else is good. I know the gas is fresh. It's just these, unfortunately, can be problematic. And I've had good amounts of issues with them in the past. So now I'm just removing the inside part of the air box. But go ahead and pull this off. PCV line is still right there. So I'm going to pull the fuel line clamp back, and then I'm going to pinch it off with these vice grips. You can use these vice grips. I've had great luck with them. As long as you set them on a lower tightness setting, you're not going to really have an issue using vice grips to pinch off a fuel line, and generally you can kind of tell where the sweet spot is. If I recall correctly, I think I actually have to remove this top piece because the auto choke part in front of the carburetor actually has some hardware that has to come off. So I'll go ahead and do that as well. There's only a few bolts on this top part, so that was easy enough. Just 2 screws. And here's the part of the auto choke I was talking about. And there we have that. So now that's out of the way, and we can commence with pulling the rest of the carburetor off of the mower. Now I do save these old carbs. I don't throw them away because even on the ones that are really screwed up, I've always used, you know, hardware and bits and pieces off of them. Even stuff like the butterfly flange you can see right in there. I've had to use those before on new ones, on well, new used carburetors, I should say. So I'm just going to carefully rotate it downwards and pull the linkage out. And that works for me. So here's our new carburetor, and we'll go ahead and prep this to install it. Now on the new one, they included a brand new O-ring, and I'm just going to peel that back with an awl. And pop it right off. Throw the brand new one on. So that works for me. Now we can get our new carburetor and finish up this job. So the install procedure for these is really just the reverse that it came off. So grab both of your mounting bolts that mount it to the side of the motor, and you're going to want to tip this sideways so you can get your linkage back in. And I always just throw these bolts in finger tight at first, and then I tighten them down with the ratchet later on. This prevents cross-threading, which it's not hard to do. So with them both in, go ahead and throw them in. And then right when you can feel them kind of starting to, I always just do it about 1/8 to 1/4 turn. And I found that that amount of torque is just about perfect for these to be torqued. There is an actual torque on them that you can find on the in the Briggs & Stratton motors, manuals I should say, but I've always had great luck with torquing them the way I have. So now we're going to put the auto choke, and I just screw that in with my fingers to make sure I don't cross thread it, which again, it's not hard to do. And again, with torquing these down, these you definitely want to be aware of how tight you're putting these bolts in, because you don't want to tweak this air filter box, because it'll change the air-fuel mixture, unfortunately. If you don't do it tight enough, or you do it way too tight, it'll kind of malform the the flange here where it mounts up to the carburetor, and it'll let extra air in where it shouldn't be. So that'll also cause your lawnmower to run incorrectly. So you don't want to tighten them too tight. And again, I always kind of do these by hand. And as soon as I feel that increase in torque, so let's pull the cord and see what happens. So I'm definitely happy with that. Like I said, these Chinese carburetors aren't all that bad. So if you're in a pinch and you need to get one and the price is right, it's $15.